Ever felt like a spreadsheet master in Excel, only to feel like a total beginner in Google Sheets? You copy that one perfect formula over, and it just breaks. You're not alone, and it's not your fault. Excel and Google Sheets look identical, but under the hood, they speak different dialects of the same language. And those small differences can cause huge headaches. In this video, we're going to dive deeper than ever before. We won't just show you that the functions are different. We're going to explain exactly why. For each of the 10 most common stumbling block functions, I'll tell you exactly what I'm typing, what you're seeing on the screen, and why it works in one program but not the other. By the end of this video, you'll be fluent in both, and you'll never waste time debugging a copied formula again. A fundamental core, how they handle arrays. Let's start in Excel. I want to generate a list of numbers, and I want the length of that list to be controlled by this single cell, E1. First, let's set up our sheet. In cell D1, I'll type the label, number of items. And in cell E1, I'll enter the number 5. This will be our control cell. In cell A2, I'll type a simple formula, equals sequence E1. And just like that, it spills the results. Now, here's where the real power comes in. I want to calculate the sum of this list. In cell C2, I'll type equals sum, and instead of selecting the range A2 to A6, I'll just click on cell A2 and add the spill operator, the hash or pound sign. The formula is equal sum A2 hash. This tells Excel to sum the entire spilled range, whatever its size. Now for the magic. Watch what happens when I change the number of items in cell E1 from 5 to 10. I'm only changing this one cell. Did you see that? The list automatically got longer, and the sum formula updated instantly without me editing it. That's the power of the spill operator. It's truly dynamic. Now let's try the same thing in Google Sheets. The sequence part works just fine. I'll type equals sequence E1 in A2, and I get my list of 5 numbers. But here's the difference. Sheets doesn't have the spill operator, so to get the sum, I have to manually select the range. I'll type equals sum A2 to A6. Now, let's do the same test. I'll change the number of items in cell E1 from 5 to 10. And there's the problem. The list updated, but my sum is now wrong because the formula is still stuck on the old range. To fix it, I'd have to manually go in and edit the formula to equal sum A2 to A11. It's not dynamic. This simple example shows the fundamental difference in how Excel's engine is built for dynamic arrays, making it incredibly efficient for building reports that change size. 2. The Swiss Army knife versus the toolbox. Query versus filter, sort, group by. Imagine you want to filter, sort, and group your data all at once. In Google Sheets, you have a Swiss Army knife for this, the query function. It uses its own powerful SQL-like language to do everything in one go. Excel, on the other hand, doesn't have query. Instead, it gives you a toolbox of separate functions. You'd use filter to get the north region, then group by to sum the sales, and finally, sort to order the results, often nesting them together inside a let function for efficiency. Now, the exact syntax for both of these can get quite complex, and that's a deep dive for another video. The key takeaway here is the approach. Google Sheets uses one powerful all-in-one command, while Excel uses a combination of several building block functions to get the same result. The filter function looks identical, but it has two secret traps. Trap 1, multiple and conditions. In Sheets, I can just list them. I'll type equals filter, open bracket, select my range, then for my first condition, B2:B6 equals NY. NY typed between quotes since it is text. I type a comma for to start with the second condition. For my second condition, I type C2:C6 equals 3. Then I add a closing bracket and press enter. And there you go. We have the same data here in Excel. In Excel, you have to combine the conditions with a multiplication sign. I'll type equals filter, open bracket, select my array. Then for the include argument, I'll type open bracket B2:B6 equals quote NY, quote closing bracket. Times, open bracket, C2:C6 equals 3, closing bracket. And there we go. Trap 2, no matches. If there are no matches, Excel has a built-in if empty argument for a clean message. Let me change the city so there are no matches. I just add a semicolon or comma depending on your country setting and type no results between quotes. Now you see no results. Let me show you how it works in Sheets. I change the city so there are no matches. I have to wrap the whole formula in an if-NA formula and add a comma in the end and type no results between quotes to do the same thing. And there you go. 4. The great split. Text split versus split. Splitting text is easy, but what if you want to split into a vertical column? In Excel, text split has a dedicated argument. I'll type equals text split, open bracket, select my text in A1. Then I'll skip the column delimiter with a semicolon or comma, depending on which country setting you work with. And for the row delimiter, I'll put my semicolon in quotes. Then I type a closing bracket and press enter. Simple. Here in Google Sheets, I have the same data. Google Sheets has the split function that only goes across. I'll type equals split, open bracket, A1, then comma, and then the semicolon between quotes. I close the formula with a close bracket and press enter. There you go. To make it go down, you need to wrap it in transpose. I'll type equals transpose, open bracket, followed by the entered split formula. It's an extra step for the same result. 5. Stacking the deck. VSTACK versus curly braces. Need to combine two tables? In Excel, you use the clear and readable VSTACK function. I'll type equals VSTACK, open bracket, select my first table, and enter a semicolon or comma, depending on the country setting. And then I select my second table without header. Then I type a closing bracket and press enter. And there you go, the tables are stacked. I have the same data here in Sheets. In Google Sheets, you use a code-like syntax with curly braces. I'll type equal open curly brace, select my first table, then a semicolon to make a distinction between the tables, and then I select my second table without header. I close the formula with a close curly brace. The formula is equal open curly brace, table 1, semicolon, table 2, close curly brace. Compact, but you have to know the symbols. So what did we learn? It really boils down to 3 key themes. First, how they handle spilling. Excel's modern spilling is automatic and powerful, while Sheets often needs an explicit array formula wrapper. Second, the query approach. Excel prefers a modular toolkit of functions, while Sheets often provides powerful, all-in-one functions like query. And third, the syntactical devils, the small differences in names of function and how to use them. Now you're ready to tackle any spreadsheet on any platform. If this video saved you from a future headache, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button for more pro-level spreadsheet guides. Now, head to the comments and let me know which function difference surprised you the most. Thanks for watching.